which right now there's kind of an island of chasing people in different phone numbers. And as well, we work very closely with them on all the Wi-Fi stuff. And so this idea of on-prem, and I'm going to bring out a couple of use cases of this more in sort of public services stuff, but this idea of bringing telecom into the sort of IT synchronization world, it really brings that into the personal productivity kind of game of how do I invoke calls, it's called unified communications. How do I do workflow, and if something happens I can reach out to people and connect them, they can connect to me, and all of that sort of collaboration on the voice channel, kind of like what I think we catalyzed a lot on the messaging channel, when you think about it, and what we're doing on the workflow channel. And when they all come together, and they all are together, and they're all fundamentally latent in what you've installed, you have that opportunity for transformation. Mm-hmm. And so it's workflow apps, it's desktop, and it's voice and video collaboration things, with appropriate peripheralization to either present it better or to capture information better, like a digital pen or print out something or something like that. And again, all I'm doing is throwing up use cases here, and so I'm going to give a little bit of public safety, a little bit of healthcare, and a little bit of consumer, in ways that you might not have traditionally thought of it. And then we'll open up to questions, and I'm very comfortable with questions, and it can go very wide ranging, however you want. It's your breakfast. We do a lot in public safety. We have over 1 million users in the U.S. federal government, and I'm top secret cleared. And we're in really every military theater, and DOD and Joint Chiefs of Staff and DHS and FBI and CIA and EOP and et cetera, et cetera. So it is real interesting, and I won't go in great detail on those apps, but the Baltimore Police, they have the BioKey Pocket Cop, and so a couple thousand policemen have access to the databases, and so they can really, and they also have a Navigator app with GPS, so you can get access to the databases, generally bad guy databases, and they also know where you are, and they're also integrating that with CCTV. Well, none of this is different applications. I mean, you have bad guy databases, you have closed circuit TV, but how does that change when all of a sudden you can upload information and access information in a contextualized fashion? And contextualization, for instance, is this is where I am. That's a contextualizer, right? Location. Delivery status, the message has been sent, is a contextualizer. Personal attributes of me is a contextualizer. Well, if you change access and you contextualize it, but it's the same app, you've profoundly changed what people do. This has profoundly changed how they avail public safety without any meaningful big ticket expenses. As well, we also have these interfaced to video surveillance systems where you can upload and download videos, and you can search and playback and have stuff tagged and alert emergency panic type buttons. Well, how does that change when you have access to these things, whether it's remote in a vehicle or at some place that you've got that kind of access? Well, quite frankly, these alarm systems, a lot of them are about alerting. That's why it's called an alarm. And how you alert and access and act matters. As well, and again, I'm focusing a little more on state and local. I just want to stay away from the Fed stuff. But we do a lot with the City of New York. They have a GPS type thing where the street patrols were out and reporting problems and incidences, and what happened, and then they would quickly mobilize city resources to actually fix this, and it really changed the quality of city services and how they were done in an expedited fashion. And those of you that know that is once you create a sense that problems get fixed and fixed quickly, then you create an environment where people respect the fact that this is, streets should be kept clean and things should be fixed, and a culture that the city service fixes problems and fixes them right away. And this has been a resounding success in the city. The healthcare thing is something that I spend a lot of time with personally, and have met with 40 odd of the top healthcare CEOs at different times over the past year, and it's interesting because we talk a lot about healthcare reform, and my view of it is that digital medical records has got it's important, but it's got a disproportionate share of the information or of the attention, and really it's about access and collaboration is the key part here. And so if you look at one of them is an EKG smartphone project for the VA Medical Center, where you push out the EKG to the doc, and in that world of heart attacks and all that, time really matters. So if you can push out an EKG while the person is in the ambulance, and maybe the doc is at a dinner, and they get an alert, and there's real use cases of that, and they can read the EKG and they can say, begin this. The difference between starting a process in, say within a half an hour versus a couple hours, apparently in that world, is all the difference between living and maybe not living, and so that's. And this is one where where you can get patient data management, and there's a company who's doing a lot of this locally, and if I had to redo this, I would have used them. Where's the Ingenious Med guys from? Just raise your hand. There they go. And they got an app where, because you guys do a lot of healthcare innovation around here. You got the CDC here and a number of great healthcare stuff. And so again, it's much more about access to patient information from multiple sources. It's about access. It's about updating that, and they tend to be from a variety of sources that are composite, and how do you render it, and also I'm going to bring in the alerting function, because alerting and telemetry matters in healthcare, not only sort of EKG type stuff, but I'm going to talk about other things, because it's a very event driven kind of world, and that's all about collaboration stuff. An element of digital records for sure, but that's kind of half the equation. Collaboration's the other half, and yet digital records kind of gets 95% of the attention in budgets. And I think it's kind of having a strong right leg in a race, but not a strong left leg. I mean, it's a really good idea to have both strong.